this asinine, I want to pay off student debt, is an insult to the senior citizens, to the people who pay taxes, to people who decide, do I want to buy meat this week or pay for my medicine? That's hogwash. You got so many jobs, you got a great economy, let them work and pay off their bills just the way all of us do.
All of them do it. Jeanine Pirro's had it up to here, or maybe even here, with all this talk about getting rid of student loan debt, the way Biden continues to talk about it. I don't know why he keeps talking about it. I don't know why he keeps doing these things, but she's very upset about it, and it might be because the pressure is on. Now, this is obviously not the first time she's talked about this. Conservatives and pundits over Fox News definitely like to talk about this. She did it earlier this month too. Watch again.
You have a contract. You have a contract with the person who loaned you the money. If you can't pay it, that's your problem. Get a job like everyone else. And then, we've got senior citizens who are living on a fixed income when inflation is higher than it's been in 40 years. So these lazy kids want to have their loan canceled. Nonsense. Pay your darn loan, get a job, and be quiet.
And there's that next tactic of it's the old folks versus these kids. I'm not sure what she thinks are kids, but there's adults that are trying to figure out how they're gonna get their way out of this situation and also get themselves in a situation where they have opportunity in this country, this we call the land of opportunity. Now, she's not the only one pressuring, but we did also have Laura Ingraham who tweeted this out, and this kind of blew up Jeanine Pirro's the old folks versus the young folks argument. And maybe it says everyone. Laura Ingraham tweeted out, my mom worked as a waitress until she was 73 to help pay for our college, even help with loan repayment. Loan forgiveness, just another insult to those who play by the rules. She's mad about that. Her mom had to work until she was 73 to pay off Laura Ingraham, most likely a multimillionaire, former attorney, fresh out of college, at a restaurant as a waitress. I get the feeling waitresses and waiters now are not doing it for all of the money they can do to pay off college, because college from back in 1978, whenever she went, is definitely way cheaper than it is now. Anyway, continuing on, because Biden's catching all of this pressure, as I pointed out. He's not just catching it from conservatives, he's also catching it from Elizabeth Warren and Chuck Schumer, those libs in Senate. Watch what Chuck Schumer had to say.
Imagine being closer to retirement than to college and realizing you've only made a dent in your student loans. Millions of borrowers of color, millions more of borrowers in general, live with this reality. Once again, borrowers don't need their debts paused, they need them erased. This isn't just the right thing to do for our economy, it's the right thing to do for racial equity, and I'll keep urging the president to take this important step. And I say to my colleagues, I think the president's moving in our direction. My talks with him and his staff have been very fruitful over the last little while, and I am hopeful that he will do the right thing. We're getting closer, we're getting closer.
So you have Jeanine Pirro barking and you have Chuck Schumer getting everyone going. Not really, but still. So, but the pressure, in case you want to see there was some pressure. He's talking about how minorities in this country have lesser chance at opportunities, and if you stack up these types of bills in this manner, it's harder for them to get those opportunities because there's other hurdles put in the way as well. Now, President Biden probably doesn't want to hear that because now he's got to fight with many people who helped get him into office in the first place, who are like, yeah, that's right. Chuck Schumer's correct. If I actually listen to him long enough and get through all of that to pay attention to what he's saying, yeah, there's the pressure. Now, you got pressure from both sides. What's President Biden saying about all this? Specifically that $50,000 that Chuck Schumer mentioned. He was asked about this, watch.
Majority Leader Schumer said yesterday that you're, quote, getting closer to using executive authority to cancel up to $50,000 in student loan debt. Can you confirm that? What exactly are you looking to plan to do here in the coming
You mean my
months?
spokesman said that?
Majority Leader Schumer.
I am considering dealing with some debt reduction. I am not considering $50,000 debt reduction.
Did you guys notice that? I'm curious as if he said anything semi-derogatory about Jeanine Pirro, Laura Ingraham, anyone else who's dogging him out over this. But he did mention, you mean my spokesperson, Chuck Schumer? Degrading him a bit there because he was uncomfortable feeling this kind of pressure. He's like, you guys aren't supposed to pressure me. We Democrats, we just say things and don't do anything. What are you guys talking about, pressure? Now I have to answer this? That was where the frustration came in my opinion. So really quick, before you guys jump in, because this might be his reasoning, which is what I was thinking at first, which I'm not sure if it's a great idea, but Chuck Schumer might be blowing Joe Biden's cover. Go to this. The Biden administration pushed back on the ongoing COVID-19 related federal student loan moratorium until August 31st, as we know. The timing feeds into theories that the Biden administration might plan to use the issue to revitalize Democratic enthusiasm and voter turnout ahead of the midterms. Just yesterday, CBS and the Washington Post both reported that the president held a lengthy meeting with the Congressional Hispanic Caucus on Monday, reportedly expressing openness to canceling tens of thousands of dollars in student loan debt in the coming months, perhaps through executive action. Now, what I was thinking was he waiting until the midterms to be like, look, you guys, I'm doing something. Go ahead, okay, vote for us now. A bit of a midterm surprise, you guys.
Yeah, I think that's probably what's gonna happen, but he's gonna do a weak sauce version. It's not gonna work well. But let's go back to the fun. So I can't wait to eviscerate Jeanine Pirro on her hypocrisy. That's coming in a second. But first, I love how dynamic Chuck Schumer there was. I mean, this is our leaders. And then I tell you, I guess we should get rid of student loans.
It's like a bedtime story,
Yeah.
you know?
God, you're the worst.
It's a centrist bedtime story.
And this is the people that Lindsey Graham said that the Democrats don't have any policy, they just have dynamic leaders. What personalities? What are you
Lindsey
talking
Graham
about?
said that?
Yeah, okay. So anyways, now to the beef. Laura Ingraham, I do have the answer that you were asking, JR. When she went to Dartmouth, she graduated, not to be fair to her, not in 78, but in 85. Okay. And at that time, tuition was $10,000 a year. That's already a lot. And that's why her mom had to work till she's 73 to pay it off. You know what it is now? $61,000 a year. And that's just tuition, doesn't include books, food, dorms or anything like that. $61,000 a year. It's 6 times more expensive than when Laura Ingraham graduated. And Laura Ingraham is an 80, right? You see how it's gotten incredibly expensive in this short period of time. By the way, look at Laura Ingraham's logic. My mom broke her back working as a waitress till 73 years old, so I hope your mom does too. Wait, doesn't that mean the system's broken? And if you had any kind of sympathy, you say, I don't want anybody to go through what my mom went through. No, because she's a right winger, she thinks, I want everybody to go through what my mom went through. I hope all your mother's backs are broken. Or maybe we could be decent to our citizens and to your mom, by the way. And JR's right about this, I did the math on it. By the time your mom was 73, you were a multi-millionaire. If you really still had her paying off your loans and your siblings' loans, you're a monster. Okay, now finally though to Pirro. She ran a campaign back in 2006, a political campaign against, of all people, Andrew Cuomo for Attorney General in New York, and she lost. She had $600,000 in loans that, as far as we know, she did not pay back until even at 2019. We don't know if she's ever paid them back, but we know that in 2019 she had not paid them back. $600,000, and she knows she owed that money for decades. Yet, because she's such a hilarious liar, that's all anybody at Fox News ever hires is absurd, over-the-top liars. She's like, can you believe these guys don't want to pay their loans? Why don't you just pay your darn loan and shut your mouth? Well, Jeanine, right back at you, sister.
Yeah, pay what you owe. Also, like, it is not just far right wingers. It's not just Jeanine Pirro and the other wine drunk soccer mom. Like, it's not just them who say this. It's a lot of entitled folks, a lot of folks who consider themselves liberals or Democrats who are also finger wagging at a lot of the younger generations and saying, like, what's wrong with you? Why don't you work harder? With not any concern. Jeanine Pirro at least mentioned inflation when it comes to seniors, but seniors who are already thankfully on Medicare. When folks who are like my age get to be Medicare age, y'all are gonna have gouged it and privatized it to your heart's content. And we know that to be true. People who are in debt with student loans right now can't afford to buy homes, can't afford to raise kids because of the cost of childcare, because of the cost of healthcare. The amount that you're talking about inflation and gas prices paid at the pump. Lady, we've been dealing with this for decades. The amount that the cost of living has risen. Meanwhile, the minimum wage has not kept pace with that. And yeah, that's minimum wage, but also the cost of higher education rapidly increasing. So the student debt now is absolutely insane, and it is a sick fact of American culture that once you make it, you turn around and you just crap on anyone else who hasn't made it. And you're special and lucky, and what do they get? Well, they can be homeless. Well, I mean, they could just be homeless and we can lock them up and that's fine. Oh, they deserved it. They deserved it. Work until you die. It is a sick culture that we live in, and we're trying to change that back, not back that far. We're not even trying to move forward. We're trying to go back to, I don't know, a like 50s, 60s level of like middle income, minimum wage, kind of keeping pace with growth, whatever it is. Like
you're saying, Franny, we should make America great again.
Oh, that's what I'm saying, dude. I think I'm saying that.
Yeah, can we go back to the economic times of the 1950s and 60s where we had a real middle class and they had not equality of results, but equality of opportunity? How do you get equality of opportunity? Things like college education. And a lot of those older generations got a free college education through the GI Bill, through so many different ways. And back then it cost like a nickel. And so, and by the way, we're totally fair and nonpartisan. We've called out, to Francesca's point, we called out Joe Biden when he did the same exact thing as Jeanine Pirro when he gave the speech about, oh, give me a break. Oh, you think you young people have it tough? You don't have it tough at all. No, Joe, you paid $35 for your degree. What the hell? You got it like 200 years ago. You don't know anything about the young. And by the way, you're only gonna do it if you do it partially right before the election for political reasons. You should have done it on day one. You made a campaign promise and you didn't do it. We're fair, we hit Democrats when they're wrong and we tell the truth. Jeanine Pirro, pay your goddamn loans, you bum. Otherwise you shut up, okay?
My last thought, I know we have to go. My last thought is when it comes to that throwback, the middle class in the 50s and 60s, the reason I think, I wasn't there, part of the reasons why it was such a robust middle class and everybody has these opportunities because many segments of the population did not have those opportunities. Many segments of the population were not given access to middle class jobs and factory work and things that paid a certain amount that was great that time. When black neighborhoods, LA was one of them, were thriving, those neighborhoods got destroyed by systemic racism. Let's keep it real. This is part of what they don't want people to learn. Yes, there was a fewer number of people that had access to the middle class life. That's why it was available so rapidly and well. Now that everyone has access to it, if they do things like go to college and do this job and do that, then they're trying to suppress that. Now you don't get the jobs. You graduate with $100,000 worth of school loans and you can't get a job that pays enough to pay those off.
Yeah, and the GI Bill was super racist against black folks, like black veterans. It like disproportionately helped white veterans and they like acknowledge that. Anyway, I just wanted
Yeah, and implicit, to JR's point, implicit in what they're saying today is, hey, back in the day when we're giving out stuff for free, it was just the white people. Now we have to share it with black and brown people. And we don't want to do that. So let's call them lazy and bums instead and take away all the money and keep it for ourselves. That's Right Wing 101.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. We really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.